Hey, welcome. You found me. All right. Today we're talking arithmetic sequences. Look, this is an arithmetic sequence. It looks super complicated, right? A-N, what in the world? A1, what? D, N minus 1. Lots of things happening, right? This is just generalizing any term, nth term, any term in my sequence can be found by taking the first term and adding whatever my pattern is times the term. So look, this is not anything new. Sequences are just like patterns we've been finding with tables. So we're finding the rule that works. This is very much like y equals, this would be our pattern m, so slope times our term x plus the additional amount b. Okay, very much the same thing. So explicit formula, just keep in mind we are finding the pattern. What's our equation? A1 is the first term, AN is any term. Okay, that's to generalize. Do the same thing. We're going to create a table, find our rate of change, which is slope. Rate of change is slope, rate of change is slope. We're going to find the additional amount. So here we go. In a sequence of numbers, the third term, so when we see this little number is telling us what term we're looking at. So we have third term is 4, fourth term is 7, right? Fifth term is 10, sixth term is 13. Please read it like that. Don't go A3. Always tell yourself so that you're making connections. Third term. Based on this, what's the equation to find the nth term in the sequence AN? All right, so first thing, we're just going to create a quick table here. So I'm going to have my term, which is N, and then I have the value of that term. Okay, and I'm always going to use it based off of what they give me. They start with the third one, so I'm going to start with the third one is 4. The fourth term is 7. The fifth term is 10. The sixth term is 13. Okay, now we're going to find that pattern, which is just how are these things changing, right? Rate of change. So I'm adding 3, adding 3, adding 3. On the other side, always check what is the other side happening, right? So we're adding 1 there. So my change, my pattern, my rate of change, right, is going to be 3 over 1, which is 3. So this is my pattern. This is M, right? This is my pattern. It just looks different in an arithmetic sequence, and we'll see that in a moment. Okay, now we need to find the additional amount. Okay, so I found what I multiply by, but what's that additional amount? We've talked about this before, but I want to set it up hopefully maybe in a way that will help you connect a little bit more what I keep telling you to do, right? So I'm going to expand my table. I'm going to use the table to help me with my awesomely straight lines, okay? I'm going to take a term, so we'll just go with that third term, right? And I know that the third term has to be 4. So now I'm going to see, well, how do I get there, right? Okay, I already know that I multiply by 3. So if I do 3 times 3, that gets me to 9. But I want to be at 4, not 9. Okay, so now I have to ask myself, what do I do to 9 to get it to 4? Well, I know if I subtract 5, I get to 4. This is that additional amount. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So what do I multiply? So this is our pattern, what I multiply by. And then where am I at? How do I get the rest of the way there? So my equation to find any term, that's how I say any term. I'm going to multiply the term times 3, so 3 times 3, right? And then I'm going to have to subtract 5. And I can check this really quick. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 minus 5 is 10. This works. There's my equation. Okay, that's what we're doing. All right, let's try it again. We have the second term. Remember, that's how we read this. Second term is 16. The third term is 11. The fourth term is 6. The fifth term is 1. Okay, based on this, what's the equation that I can use to find any term in the sequence, right? Okay, so any term. So I'm going to put my terms, and I'm going to put my values, and I'm going to start where it starts. So I start with the second term, and then that's 16. I have the third term, that's 11. I have the fourth term, that's 6. I have the fifth term, that's 1. I'm going to find my changes. so that I know what my pattern is. So this is subtracting 5. And I always check what is x, what's the other side doing, right? So good, it's going by 1. So my rate of change, my slope, my rate of change, same thing, is -5 divided by 1, which is -5. So this is what I multiply by. That's my pattern to multiply by. Okay, so now we're going to use the table to find the rule. So find that additional amount, right? And I'm leaving a nice big space here because I don't know exactly what I'm going to need in there. All right, I'm going to start, take a term. So second term, I know that it's supposed to be 16. So I'm going to see, what do I do to 2 to get to 16? Okay, I already said, let me change colors, be awesome here. All right, so I already said that I know my pattern, I multiply by -5. So 2 times -5 would be -10. Is that 16? No. All right, so -10, how do I get to 16? Well, I know I have to go up 10 to get to 0 and then another 16, so that's 26. So I have to add 26, there's my additional amount. Once I have that, I'm ready to put it all together. Here's my pattern, what I multiply by, and then what I add, mx plus b, right? Except it's in sequence notation. So to find any term, I'm going to multiply -5 times the term I'm looking for, and I'm going to add 26. Okay, and again, we could check. -5 times 3 is -15. -15 plus 26 gets me to 11. Okay, all right, so that's how you can find your equation. Now what if I give you the equation and I say find this term? Okay, this wants the 7th term. Okay, so what that means is that this 7 is my n. So anywhere I see n in my formula is now a 7. So to find the 7th term, I do 90 minus 8 times 7. 7 is n. Okay, so A7, the 7th term, is 90 minus 56. A7 equals 34. Please check your calculator. You could do that off to the side over here, right? Woohoo! All right, so the 7th term is 34, and I'm just going to write in words, 7th term is 34. Okay, all right, let's do it again. This wants the 16th term, so anywhere n is now going to be 16, right? So to find the 16th term, I multiply -5 times, 16 is n now, minus 6. So the 16th term, I do 16 times 5, 30, that's 80. I know it's negative, so -80 minus 6. The 16th term equals -86. Woohoo! All right, so 16th term is -86. Okay, keep going. We have A9, so that's the 9th term. What does that 9 tell me? Anywhere n is now 9. So to find the 9th term, I multiply 1.5 times 9, add 4. The 9th term, 1.5 times 9 is going to be 13.5. Okay, and again, you could do that on your calculator off to the side. That's 45. It's going to be 13.5. Okay, plus 4. Don't drop off anything. So my 9th term is 17.5. Okay, 9th term is 17.5. All right, one more just for good measure. Finding the 23rd term, wherever n is now 23. All right, so to find the 23rd term, I multiply 7 times 23. Okay, where n is now 23. And I subtract 10. So the 23rd term is 161 minus 10. Please multiply. 23 times 7 is 161. So the 23rd term is 151. We are super dope. All right, 23rd term is 151. Okay, so that's it. If it gives you the formula and it tells you the term, you're plugging that term number in wherever n is. All right, you got this.